All right, I think we're live. What's up, everybody? This is the first mock draft of the season. My first draft this year. I'm really excited. That just means we're closer to the season. Um, you know, another 4 or 5 weeks, but might as well start it out early. Get a feel for how the drafts are going, when the goalies are going, kind of what players are going where, who drops. I think that's really important. So, as we go through this, I'm going to give you some of my strategies, why I choose my picks. So I guess the first thing I want to do here is start setting up my queue with players that I really like. So I'm sure some of you have watched at least one or two of my videos. So you're aware of who I like, who I'm off of. I wonder if I can snag Barkov at some point, but we'll see what happens. You might even see players that I haven't talked about, like Brett Pesci. Just give me a second here. Kemper's ranked super high. Yeah, there's no way. I like Hart. Gonna get some hate, but I like Hart this year. Verby. It's definitely good to queue up some of those late round picks, especially because some of the really early players are basically out of your control. Like you're not going to queue up Matthews because you really have no control over that. But this is a head-to-head, basic 5x5. I think a really important part too is making sure you take your goalies, having two stable goalies, because goalies make up half the category and it's only two positions and there's only so many good goaltending that you can take. So I'm not one to take Vasilevsky in the first round, even though he's a really good pick, especially if he falls. If you can get Vasilevsky at 12 or 13, you're back to back. You're looking pretty good. So let me just add a couple more guys. I can't believe how far Heiskanen's dropping. So I also have a little projection sheet that we made, and this is available through our Patreon. It basically just outlines. Oh, I thought Barkov just went. Okay, so it looks like McDavid, Kucherov, 1-2. I hope Matthews can fall to 5. That would be kind of a joke. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go Matthews here. I just think Matthews' shot volume is way too high. Based on our projections, oops, sorry guys. Based on our projections, Matthews is the highest ranked player. I can change, and I'll go through this. I'm going to take Matthews right now. Not much time to pick here, but basically on this, you just change the values and it'll update the projections for you. So everything's worth 1. Don't think there's blocks in this, is there? No. There's power play points and plus minus, which are hard to project, and something we're looking at adding at some point. So we'll sort these a little bit. Oh, Brady also doesn't add in power play points or plus minus here, but Brady's definitely someone you want to be targeting in your draft, especially if you have hits. I can't believe how high he's going now, though. Crazy. But he's one of the only forwards, if not the only forward, that's getting 300 every year consistently. Coleman, I know, is a really good guy with hits that I like. New team this year, too. Yeah, he's falling quite a bit. So I'm probably going to take some heat here, but if Zibanejad falls to 20, that's probably who I'm going to take. Actually, I'll probably take Barkov over Zibanejad. I like Barkov's outlook a lot this season. His plus minus should be better. I think Florida is one of the best teams in the league this year, personally. So I'm not looking goalie here yet, and there are positions. You're most likely going to take centers early because they basically dominate the league. It's hard to kind of get some really early stable wingers. I mean, Patty Kane, Ovechkin, there are some, but I do like Point because he does have two positions, and that's something you want to focus on as well. Players with flexibility, especially nights when there's a lot of games happening, you're able to, move Point to the wing and then start one of your centers that are playing. So it's not good when you have 3 centers that are playing and then your wingers are wide open. So Brady went. Good pick. I know we have a couple guys here from the Discord. A channel. Shout out to you, Mike. I'm not sure who else is in here right now. There's a couple guys though. So if you're on the Discord, yeah, definitely hop in there. So my pick's coming up really soon. Jeez. Yeah, I'm probably not taking a defenseman too early either. I think there's a lot of depth in the draft. Did Barkov go? No. So I'm gonna go Barkov here. Just there's not a good enough pool of wingers at this pick for me to choose one. So I'm gonna go with Barkov. So starting off a draft with Barkov, Matthews, like you're set down the middle for a while. Good thing about Hughes, and he's one of my favorite sleepers. A lot of these guys I have in here, Bennett, Hughes, Zegras, Coleman, they all have dual positions. So really important, a really important thing that's not utilized enough. I wonder if some players have D and forward. I know Mark Pissick. Oh, he does. That's awesome. No way. I don't know if there's any. I think there's somebody else. I can't remember, but yeah, that's funny. Mark Pissick has two. Definitely don't be drafting Mark Pissick. So here I'm not gonna go goaltender yet, but I definitely have interest in goalies. I think in the middle of wow, Freddie, 41. I don't understand these rankings too much on Yahoo. I'm more of an ESPN guy, but I like Blackwood too. I think Francouz is fine as well. Kind of going back to the whole Kemper thing. All right, I was like, sorry, pick is coming up fast. So I'm probably looking to take a D here. I think Hedman's the best option. This will solidify really my core, which I'm going to build around. So I think Hedman's the best option here. Really good plus minus, really good power play points. He's on a strong team again. They're going to be really competitive this year. So I'm going to take Hedman. I think he's a little bit more reliable than John Carlson, even though I like Carlson. But I'm definitely like Tampa's offense a lot more than I like Washington's offense. Oh, I haven't done this in a while. It's going to be it's a lot of talking, but I'll do my best here. Crazy that Svech goes 30th overall. He actually is one of my favorite wingers, but I just think a 30 is a little high. Yeah, there goes John Carlson. So I'm probably going to take another forward here. Looking at... Did Patches go? I'm looking at Pacioretty here. Oh, he did go. Okay. Patches is one of my favorite players as well. Just a really high shot volume guy. Someone that really, really... Like, his plus minus is phenomenal. Shots are great. Plays power play 1. He's on that really strong first line. Yeah, like... Fleury's too high. I don't mind Varlamov. I think Spencer Knight is good as well. Someone that can get some goalie 2 time. Could take over as goalie 1 on one of my favorite teams. One of the best teams this year. Yeah, goalies are very thin. I think Binnington's fine there as well. I'm not a Binnington fan at all, but... Was it just Kemper and Vaz? How early did Vaz go? 7th, eh? Yeah, that's pretty early. I think Demko is solid as well. I think Vancouver's going to surprise a lot of people this year. Personally. Not sure how many if that's a hot take or not, but I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. So we do have goalie projections as well, but those are kind of still in the works a little bit. But I'm going to take a peek at those, kind of see where we're looking. Oh, Leonard, yes. Okay, he went. Okay. Vaz, Leonard, Hellebuck, Kemper, Shesterkin. Yeah, I still have Binnington pretty high, even though I'm not a Binnington fan. Just fantasy-wise, he's going to get the volume. And volume's important, too. Just not forget about this guy. Definitely don't want to forget about him. And you'll see him in a few videos as well. This is basically a sneak peek, but I know a lot of people like it. A lot of people like just kind of seeing why I choose the players I'm taking. And I think we're going to make a video of player pairings as well. So if you get the first pick, who to take 20th. If you get the 5th pick, who to take 15th. Something like that. I think that just gives everyone a little bit more insight. So I'm still not looking goalie. I'll probably take the goalie in round 6, my goalie 1, and then kind of sleep on my goalie 2, unless the goalies start going here. And that's something you got to get a feel for in your drafts too. Like there's usually a round where the goalies just start flying off the board. Looks like 2 just went, so it might be time, and that's what you got to get a feel for too. So it looks like I have Binnington as the best goalie available right now. I think I could wait on him, so I'm gonna do that. So right here, I like Pietrangelo this year. I also like Kyle Connor quite a bit this year, so I'm probably gonna go with Connor. Don't have a winger yet, so he's a solid player, high upside, plays a lot, plays power play 1, takes a lot of shots. He's still young, so he was part of that crazy 2015 draft, the best draft ever. Best draft, we'll see. Yeah, Fleury went. Might have been an auto draft. I know there's one guy or a couple guys in here auto drafting, but it's early in the season, so it's pretty difficult to find people that are actively drafting, especially on Yahoo. That's why I tried reaching out to some people on Discord, even though it was pretty last minute. Yeah, so the goalies are going. Okay. Yeah, so it's probably time to take a goalie. I'll probably go Binnington here. Not too high on him, but I think he's fine for goalie 1. And then I'm going to look at taking Hart as my goalie 2 at some point. I know there's some people from our Discord in here, so they're probably looking at him too. But I just think the Flyers are too good. And I know I had some people commenting in the video saying that he let them down last year, Carter Hart. I'm just going to pull up the Flyers depth chart just to give you guys a sense of why I think they're going to be so good. So let's pull this up here. There's just so much. There's like a couple top 6 talent in here. I think Lod can crack a top 6. I think JVR still can. Lindblom's fine. And just the depth here. I think Farabee's going to have a really strong season. And then they added 2 great defensemen with Ristolainen and Ellis. A lot of people hate on Ristolainen, but he's solid. And then Sanheim's another up-and-comer. Take some weight off Provorov. I think this team's going to be really good this year, especially if everybody's healthy. They were dealing through some stuff last year. All right, so I'm going to go Binnington here. I'm not going to say it for the 17th time that I'm not a Binnington fan, but goalies that I were interested in fell a little early for my liking, but that's fine. Ehlers went. Ehlers is a good pick. I like Ehlers a lot. He was having a big season, and he looked good, really good in playoffs too. Montreal just makes every team look really good. Oh, sorry, really bad. Okay. Binnington it is. Blues should still be competitive this year. All right. All right, Jordan, are you going to let me down? 3 forwards, 1D, and Binnington. So I'm going to wait on a goalie now for quite a while. Even Markstrom. Like, there's goalies down here that you can find. Tristan Jarry fell quite a bit. I think he's going to be pretty good this year. Francouz, another goalie that, like, if Kemper doesn't play to his caliber or if Kemper goes down with injury, Francouz is the number 1 guy on one of the best offenses in the league. So, really important to note. So, I see Yossi's falling. I don't like Nashville this season. I think Nashville's kind of a weaker team. It's still Roman Josi. So, yeah, Tolvanen's solid. I wonder what their depth chart looks like. It's probably not too good, but I know they made a lot of moves. Tomasino's supposed to play this year. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. So, I mean, they don't look competitive. Maybe they will be. They might be a surprise this year. But I think Yossi's shot volume's too hard to ignore, and then his point upside is too hard to ignore. So if he falls here, I'm going to go Josi. He's just the best D available. He hits every box for me. Yeah, there's a lot of good D available. Definitely want to talk a little bit about Chychrun at some point. I don't think Chychrun's going to do as good as people are expecting this season. I think Arizona is going to be super uncompetitive, and he's kind of just there. So it's going to be tough for him. I feel like he's going to be kind of like a Dahlin sort of player where I was pretty high on him last year, and then, you know, how bad Buffalo was last year. He fell with them. So, yeah, Reinhardt's a little too high. But another important thing, too, that you can look at is, and I know some people are against this. I've read a couple things online. I've watched a video or two. Some people have said that's not good to pair your players. So if you take Barkov, assuming he's going to go off, and you take Reinhardt, who's supposed to play with him, people have said it's bad. I don't think it's bad. I think it's fine. If you're assuming that Barkov's going to do really well, and he does well, then if you take his line mate, he's also going to do well. So that's kind of where I'm looking at it. You're not just taking Barkov because you don't like him. So I'm going to go Yossi here. Hopefully he doesn't get taken. That's kind of how the draft works. You kind of have to have a little bit of a backup plan. So if Yossi were to go here, I would likely take Miro Heiskanen. So I'm going to go Yossi. Team's looking good. I mean, goalie's a little weak, but Matthews, Barkov, Connor, Hedman, Yossi, Bennington. I think Hedman, Yossi were both won the Norris. Did Yossi win 2 years ago? He did, right? Yeah, okay, he did. Did Hedman win this year? No, Fox won this year. Okay. Come on. See, this is why I prefer stream, because you guys can just correct me on this. But we'll be streaming, hopefully, Sunday nights. Been busy in school, working full-time right now. So just do my best to try and pump out this content. Stay active. Golfing a lot, too. Hopefully some of you guys are golfing. I'm assuming a decent amount of my fans are Canadian, so golf season's almost over. So right here, I mean, I like Theodore quite a bit this season as well. And I do have a bunch of later in the draft sleeper picks here. So if Theodore falls, I think he's the best available at this point in the draft, and that's who I'm going to go with. So Reinhardt did go. 72nd, 7th round. That's not bad. Oh, Theodore went. Okay. And there's a backup plan. So Heiskanen if I need to. I like Nurse too, especially with the hits. Werenski's fine. Nurse went. Okay, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to go Miro here. Unless there's other forwards available, but I can probably wait on Bennett. See, this is where it gets difficult now. Yossi, Hedman. Miro should go next round. Ooh, I pick in 15 picks. You know what? I'm gonna go Bennett here. We'll see how that works out. I like the dual position flexibility. So that does mean that Hughes will be on my bench, but it's fine. The rosters are super small in this mock draft. You only start 6 players, so that's fine with me. Wow, Seguin fell so much. I forgot about him. That's a great pick. Heiskanen went. Rip. All right, what are the D looking like? I like Werenski. Werenski's solid. So yeah, D kind of get flat after the 7th round. There's not too many good D available at this point, aside from Werenski's interesting. I like Uyghur. I think he's going a little high. I think Petrie's solid too. Grizzlick. Yeah. So yeah, it looks like D drop off quite a bit. I like Parayko too, actually, quite a bit. That's definitely a late round defenseman to be drafting. Letang, Grubauer. Not a fan of Grubauer. So I'm actually in a keeper league, funny story. And I drafted Grubauer Kemper. This was last year. And so I ended up dropping Kemper. Grubauer ended up being the second best goalie in the league. And I was super excited because you keep 2 forwards, 1D, 1 goalie, and I have, I think, Knight, Grubauer, Bishop, and I was so happy because I'm like, okay, well, I have, top 5 goalie in the league for the next couple of years. And I dropped Kemper. So sure enough, Kemper was picked up. So one guy in my league now is Kemper that he got off waivers late in the season that he's going to keep, who's going to be one of the best goalies in the league. And now I'm stuck with Grubauer on Seattle, who probably won't be competitive. I don't think he'll have a strong season. So I kind of got sewered, but it's fine. Looks like decent amount of people are simming the draft right now. Auto drafting. I couldn't think of the word there. Too much talking. Too many different topics to go over. Well, Nylander falls quite a bit, eh? Fiala too, yeah. There's a lot of forward depth in the drafts. Once again, guys, this is my first one of the season, so I'm still getting a feel for where players are going, kind of the tendencies of some people. So bear with me here. I wonder if Sanko's gonna have a bounce back season. I'm not on him at all, but I know prior to his multiple shoulder surgeries, he was really good shot volume, really good hits guy. So I'm on the clock here. I was looking goalie, but probably not going to go goalie here. I do think there's a lot of talent still available in this draft. A lot of late picks. So I'm probably going to go Fiala. He is further down, but I just really like his shot volume. You know what, man? Just looking at my team, I probably could roster 4D. I should probably take a defense. I should probably go Werenski then, eh? I don't think Chikrin's going to be good this season. I do like his shot volume. I think Werenski's is fine too. Yeah, Werenski's going to play a ton this year, especially with Jones gone. He looked good in that ball hockey tournament too, if anyone follows Spittin' Chicklets. So I can probably wait for another defenseman. Now I'm looking at right wingers. So if Fiala drops, I'll probably take him. I just want to see if anyone's higher than if anyone's still here that should be going a lot higher. Yeah, I still think Nylander's solid. I haven't used the projections much. This draft is really fast, especially with the 30 seconds and people auto drafting, so it's pretty difficult to be switching back and forth. But look where Sagan is. Crazy. Kind of got to ignore this. Yeah, Coleman's still there too. Hart didn't go yet, right? I see goalies are still coming off the board right now. I'll probably have to go Hart. Hopefully he doesn't go. Hopefully Mike doesn't take him. I know he's in the Discord. Looks like a channel had first pick, so he's picking right now. He goes first pick in the mock draft. I wonder who to take. Matthews. I can't believe he fell. Tom Wilson. Good hit volume. That's fine. Yeah, I don't have much hits on my team either, actually. I went strictly points. You can get hits late in the draft, though. There's guys that fall that hit quite a bit, especially defensemen. Someone like Uyghur will fall. All right. So just get a feel for the board right now. Oh, Trocheck's still there too. He's just center eligible. All right. So I am pretty weak at hits. I think Uyghur's a really good hits guy. And has a bunch of upside too. Should play a decent amount this season, like plus minus. So I'm going to go him. Should try and prioritize hits a little bit more. Again, first draft of the year, so still kicking off the dust. Wonder if Mr. Evander Kane's gonna play this season. That's interesting. I probably won't draft him. See, Josh Anderson, another guy, just he'll fall late in the draft. Coleman too. Like having those two as your right wingers with Bennett should suffice. Unless some players are and like people in your league are rostering Matt Martin, Tanev, and who else? There's some big hitters. Tyler Myers. Oh, I thought he was way more than that. Oh, Yanni Hockenpah. I know a lot of the FP guys are Hockenpah fans. Just the best last name in the league. You can't turn that down. Cole Caulfield, that's interesting. I mean, has some upside. I just don't think Montreal has enough offense on that team, especially on the back end. I think it's important to have offensive defensemen. And then, I mean, Suzuki's more of a two-way center rather than a playmaker, so they don't really complement each other too much. But, I mean, hopefully Druin's back this season, which should offer some playmaking ability up front. I could see that line being a thing. Caulfield, Druin, and Suzuki. Two-way sniper and then a playmaker. For my NHL fans, the video game, that's a pretty good build for your EASHL teams. Nylander went. Yeah, Nylander's a solid pick. Toronto just has so much offense, but their division's just really tough. If you guys have done any drafts so far this season, write a comment. Let me know who you guys took, who was a sleeper for you guys. If you even want to put in your drafts in the comment section below, feel free. I'm here to answer questions. Everyone in the Discord knows that too. I mean, if you guys want to hop in there as well, link should be in the description. All of that's going to be there. All of our projections, everything. Everything's on the link tree. Pretty cool little setup. You just click it and everything should be there. All right, so I'm going to go hard here. I think that'll solidify my goaltending. Solid goalie too. Lots of upside. I think he's going to have a big season. I hope I'm right. I know I was wrong last year, so probably have some angry fans, but I mean, can't be right about everything. All right. Marchessault's a great pick too. All right. So now I need some hits. Definitely. I mean, Fiala's still there too for the shots. I think my hits guys will fall a little bit here. Even Hornquist too. Just on a deadly team. Like that Florida team's just so deadly. Like look at this depth. Achari, Hornquist on the fourth line. Tippett's solid. I think Lundell, was he that really high pick from Finland? Anyways, Ekblad's back. Montour's solid. They're just a really, really good team this year. I'm very scared for a lot of the teams that have to face them. And I'm not trying to give gambling advice, but I think I'm going to bet on them to win the cup. Last I checked, they were at 23-1 payout. I think that's great value, to be honest. Forgot about him. Make sure you prepare before your draft. I was kind of fiddling with just making sure all this stuff's good. The whole setup. First one of the year, so have to get the webcam going. Got to make sure the Zibanejad jersey's in the background there. Got my, how do I scoot over here? Got my Modano here. Got my Burns. A couple jerseys. Got McKinnon in front of me. Guerrero for my Jays fans. Fiala went. Interesting. I like Mr. Oliver Bjorkstrand again this year as well. All right. Did Hughes go? Oh, Hughes went. No. All right. So probably going to go my boy Connor Garland. Actually, you know what? That'd be a little bit too much Florida. Yeah, I'm going to go my boy Garland here. He was really good last season too. I think I think this Vancouver team is going to be scary to deal with this year, personally. And he has good shot volume that's been going up. More playing time, too. Well, I mean, he had good playing time in Arizona. It's just a hard team to play for. There's not enough depth to go around, not enough help. I felt like people that were like following the league quite a bit, if you were watching what line Garland was on, like he would move from first to third to second to fourth. It was crazy. Like I remember watching some of those games and just being so frustrated. Like he's their best player and he's playing on the fourth line. I don't know what the coach was doing. Then they'd be losing 6-1. I don't know. Crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of like Farabee's a solid pick. He's one of the guys that had a really big increase in shot volume last season. I think it was 40% increase in shot volume. So he went from a shot per game to almost 2. So he's going to be good this season if he continues to shoot. Should get a ton of playing time. He's young. I think he scored 3 goals the first game of the season last year. And I remember getting messages like, should I drop Malkin for him? Should I drop Letang for him? I'm getting rid of Bjorkstrand. I was like, guys, relax. It's game 1. Like, it was like when Matthews scored 4 goals his first game. People were saying he was on pace for, 328 goals? If my math's correct. I think that, yeah. 4 times 82. Crazy. OEL, wow. Oh, that's an auto draft pick. Yeah, there's a lot of auto drafts in here. It would definitely be better if there was legitimate people playing, but I think just gives you a sense of the strategies. All right, so looking forward to 140. My hits are weak, so I've said it a few times now. I definitely need to start focusing on that. So I'm going to go Blake Coleman here. I like Coleman quite a bit on the new team. Should be right in that top 6. I mean, this doesn't mean anything here, but he should be in that top 6. Should get a lot of minutes. He shoots the puck a ton. He has really good expected goals as well. When he was, prior to his trade, when he was with the Devils, he was really good. Like, he was putting up some really good numbers. And then, I mean, didn't get hidden on the third line, but he kind of did. Didn't really see any power play time. So it was kind of tough for him to produce. But I'm going to take Coleman here. He's kind of like a mini Brady Tkachuk. He'll give you everything. So the roster's filled out now. Again, you don't have to fill out your roster to a T. If there's a center you like that fell and you want to take him, go ahead, because that means they can just be trade bait later in the season. Say here you were to go, I don't know. Say you were to take Malkin. I mean, I can't believe Malkin's still falling. Oh, sorry, he's on LTIR. Yeah, so say you take Trocheck here and your centers are already full. And Trocheck pops off the first couple games of the season. Matthews goes down with injury. At least you have Trocheck as your backup on your bench. And that's who I'm going to go here, actually, if he's available. Tristan Jarry's a solid pick. That's Mike in the Discord. Shout out to you. Yeah, Trocheck's who I'm going to go here. If he drops. Trocheck, Horvat, Couturier, those 3. Crazy Lafreniere is so much higher. Like, he should not be there. I like Trocheck's hit volume as well. I'm, like, trying to look over to my right, my other monitor, to see if other people are drafting. Bjorkstrand. I know a channel likes him. Yeah, Malkin's interesting. I wonder when Crosby went. I think, yeah, Crosby should be back, though. 17th. I hope everyone's fired up for the Olympics, too. If you made it this far in the stream or in the video, I'm fired up for the Olympics this year. It's going to be so fun. Or next year, I guess, sorry. It's going to be so fun to watch. It's going to be fun constructing rosters, too. We can do a live stream on that, too, where we all construct a perfect roster with everybody. All right, going to go Trocheck here. Very surprised he fell, but I'm very happy he fell. That's great value at 150. Great value. 13th round. Solid upside. Still a lot of my sleepers available. So yeah, in a league like this with a small bench, you don't need 3 goalies. I would probably just keep it to 2. I would say at least 1 backup defenseman because it takes up 4 roster spots, and then at least 2 backup forwards because it takes up 6 roster spots. So that's important too. Like if you're in a league with you start 4D and 10 forwards, you're going to want to load up your bench with forwards because you're just playing them more often. I don't think there'll be leagues like that though. Just a hypothetical example. So yeah, my bench here is probably going to be 3-1, I would say, especially given my my queue here. I'm going to take Verhaeghe here. I can't believe he's falling. Eric Carlson will probably be in one of my avoid videos. I think Chikrin will be too. Hate to say it. We'll see. Might get some hate for that, but we'll see. I'll have to do more digging into him. I like to analyze a lot of stuff before I actually make assumptions and post them. Larkin's interesting too. Just that plus minus is killer. I had him last year. He killed me with the plus minus every week. It was hard to start him some nights. Especially, I think they were in Tampa's division, right? Tampa's bubble. Especially, yeah, if I'm not mistaken. When they would play against Tampa, I would definitely not play them. It's been a while. I got to refresh the hockey memory again. So draft's almost over, guys. 3 picks left. This is where you get your little lottery tickets out and you hope to hit on someone that has a really good season. I didn't draft for Verhaeghe last year. I picked him up in like the first week, and he was a lottery ticket for me. He was so good for me last year, but he was hurt in my playoffs. Him and Pacioretty did not play in my final round of the playoffs, and I lost. It was very upsetting. I lost in like week 1 or 2, and then I went on like 11 week win streak, and then I lost again, and then did well in playoffs until the final round. Team just fell apart. And I held on to Zibanejad all year. For people that watch my videos, you know me and Zibanejad. All right. Take Verhaeghe here. Multi-position as well, guys. Not just a center. I don't mind the time on these, actually, but I'm going to have some big drafts coming up. We're going to do some FP pools as well. So you have to be a Patreon to get in them, but just $7 a month, you get access to everything. And we're going to do a couple FP pools. We'll see how everyone stacks up. I know we're all kind of using the same sort of tools, and everyone should be following at least a couple of the videos. So we're all going to be kind of in the same mindset, but definitely some FP pools this year. I have a $50 keeper league. I have a $20 keeper league. And then I think I have another $20 keeper league. So got a couple to go through. There's going to be a lot of videos on these. Eriksson Ek is going to fall. Another guy I really like. Kind of want Zegras. Just the auto drafts here. So, like, there's so much depth here. See, I can go down here. Bailey. No, he's not very good. Puljujärvi, on the other hand, he's good. He will be in my wingers video, probably late round gems video. Gonna be a couple. Lots of players to talk about. Lots of players that just get slept on. I like Jesper Bratt. Falk was actually pretty good last season. I really like Falk. His plus minus was phenomenal for a while. I had him in a couple of my waiver wire vids. All right. Do I take the lottery ticket with Zegras, or do I take the weekly paycheck with Mr. Joel Eriksson Ek? Doesn't really matter. It is a mock draft, but it's later in the draft. So this is where you kind of want to decide if you're satisfied with your roster, go Zegras, take the upside. If you want to play it really safe, then take the safe pick with Eriksson Ek here. Just for the sake of this, I'll take Zegras. Bowen Byram. Don't know if he'll get enough playing time, Mike, but I respect the pick. Yeah, holy, they're so good. I can't even look at this team because they're just way too good. Insane. All right. Last pick here, guys. Gonna go with Mr. Colton Parayko. Good shot volume. I think he'll play. He was injured last year, so I think he'll have a pretty good season. I like St. Louis as a team. They made some good moves. He won't get PP one time because they have Krug there, but that's fine. He kind of complements Krug like McAvoy did. McAvoy was never really a power play guy, but he was just a really elite shutdown defenseman. Kirby Dach here too is another great player. Yeah, not much defenseman here. Moritz Seider. That would be an interesting pick. I can't take him though. How long's this been? 40 minutes, not bad. I know last year I had one that was like over an hour 30, I think, or close to an hour 30. That was a long one. I've had some long streams too last year that will hopefully get done this year. That was so fun. Like right in the midst of team constructions and team drafts, people that were like drafting the next day, just asking questions. That was so fun. Really excited for this season. It's going to be a good one. Definitely going to be a lot of familiar faces too, which I really like. Felt like we made a lot of good connections. Especially on the first couple of videos, I'm seeing comments from people I remembered last year. That's the best part of it. That's why we do this. It's so fun. We just want everyone to win. I love seeing the stories about people saying, they dominated their league, or, they came top 5. This was their first year and they did really well. Those are the best. All right, gonna go Parayko here. Hopefully none of the auto drafters take him. I don't think they will. It's a little far for them, but maybe they're sorting by rank or by who's in my queue. We all have those people in our drafts that if you draft in the same house as them or the same area as them, they're looking over at your screen. All right, so that concludes the draft. I think this was a really good team. Again, there was people auto drafted, so you're going to get a good team no matter what. But I think that the key takeaways from this draft are understanding where the goaltenders are going. So I was a little late and ended up landing Binnington Hart, which I'm still fine with. 2 starters on good teams. I think just ensuring that you guys know the holes on your roster. So for me, I knew my team didn't have any hits. Matthews, Barkov, Connor, Hedman, Yossi were my top 5 picks. None of them had good hits. So I just adjusted mid-draft. I'm like, okay, I know Bennett. He's a sleeper. Hits a lot. Coleman, same thing. Uyghur, Trocheck. So I got my hits, guys. I think understanding dual position eligibility is huge as well. Like I mentioned, you're going to have players that are playing on one day and not playing the other day, and you're going to have to find players that fill in for them. Just being able to roster as many players as you can each week. Some leagues might have max rosters, so you can only play 30 games this week, and that will conflict it. But I think just the important part is understanding dual position eligibility and how important it is. I think setting up your queue, especially prior to your draft for this one, to mock drafts, you just jump right into it. You have no time to set up your queue. But I know in some leagues you have 30 minutes, an hour to set it up. So make sure you jump in there, set your queue up, just so you know the players you like, players you're drafting. Like me, I forgot about people. I forgot about Garland and others. So definitely do that. And I think that's about it, guys. So first mock draft of the year, it was pretty fun. Cool to see the kind of roster that you can get. I think doing a few mock drafts prior to the season starting is important. I think that it kind of helps with understanding where players are going in the draft, especially the goalies. D were pretty thin after the 7th round. So understanding that. Yeah, aside from that, guys, thanks everybody for tuning in. First mock draft of the year. I'm going to try and get a couple more before the season ends. Definitely have some big drafts coming up too, so we're going to hit on that as well. If you guys want access to our projections, you guys want access to our trade analyzer for the season, your draft sheet where you fill in the players. I didn't have enough time today, but it's just really simple. You just copy it from this sheet and you paste it in here, and you can find where your holes are. So if I had time to do that, I would have definitely done it. Just a lot really going on right now. So yeah, make sure you guys follow us on Twitter. Head over to our website, guys. We're posting articles. We're trying to get everybody involved. Jump in the Discord as well. We have a decent amount of people in there right now. Hockey chat hasn't really started yet, but it's definitely going to start. We had a lot of awesome people in there last year. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, leave a like. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already. I am fired up for the season, guys. So let's get it going.